Hey guys, and welcome back to another video of my series on how to write generic music. So today we're going to do the 12-year-old in us a favor and write some power metal, because that really is a genre that includes everything that when you were 12 you thought was kind of awesome, like dragons and castles and knights and epic journeys and great adventures and basically all that kind of stuff. So what we're not going to talk about today is the real world and everything that's in there, because it kinda sucks, it's fucking depressing, I hate it, I don't want to talk about it. So today is going to be all about dwarves and orcs and elves, and so yeah, it's going to be super cheesy, it's going to be cringe, it's going to be super over the top epicness all the time, so let's just get going, get writing and see what we come up with. So first up, I set my tempo to 145 BPM, which is kind of fast but not super fast, so more like that metal middle ground. After that, I want to come up with some basic structure, and I'm not going to get too experimental, so it's basically A, B, C, B structure again. The first thing I want to do is drums and rhythm guitars. And speaking of rhythm guitars, there are really just two things you would normally do. Either the rider rhythm, or however you want to call it, like the rhythm that sounds like a galloping horse. Warm up! The other one is just letting your chords ring out, and with chords I'm obviously talking about power chords and not actual full chords, because that is something for jazz or whatever, but definitely not power metal. So guitars are going to be super simple this time. A lot of the harmonic content comes from the whole arrangement, and I will definitely add some keyboard in here that is more or less a placeholder for everything else coming like later. Maybe I'm going a bit more out with like orchestral stuff or something. Just go with the rider rhythm. That's our first verse. Nothing much to it, to be honest, but yep, that's how it goes. Pre-chorus I want to have a bit shorter, and I want to like let the guitars raise a bit and also raise the tempo, like the perceived tempo, not the actual tempo. Where are we going from here with the chords? Let's just go from the root note up to the fifth and make a major chord out of that, to give it that dominant feel. And yeah, as I said, either rider's rhythm or ringing out power chords. So let's do the latter. And then we are on the chorus, and in the chorus I want to go faster, so 4 snares per bar, and also I want to go full double bass, because it's metal after all. So in power metal the vocal line is really in the foreground most of the time, and that's where you want to have the people's attention at. So I have to kind of come up with the vocal line first, and since I'm not a vocalist, I'm a guitarist, I'm gonna come up with that on the guitar first. Then I will figure out which chords are fitting to that vocal line, and then in the end I will replace the lead guitar vocal line with the actual vocals. Okay, I think I have something. Let's see how that works. Damn! Next step is to find out what chords work with that. Alright guys, I think I got it. Let's just go full blast 16th notes with that, with the chorus. And I'll tell you what like functions, harmonical functions these chords have. That's the 1, the 5, up to the 6, down to the 5 again. Then we got 1, 5, 6, but now down to the 3. 1, 5, 6, that just repeats, 5, and then we got 1, 7, and 5, augmented with a major third, and then we go back down to the low 1. Oh, that is our chorus. Now, after the chorus, we can jump back to the verse, of course. Yeah, that works perfect. Alright, let's just start copy pasting the pre-chorus as well, and yeah, the whole chorus after that. Boom. Boom, there we go. And then from there go into the bridge part. And for the bridge part I already have a very simple idea. I want to do this power move. When you want your harmonies to sound kind of classic, kind of baroque, then there is just this one chord progression you can always fall back to. And that's called a falling fifth sequence. And that is what our whole bridge part will be about. It will be like a little build-up part up to that. And then another like fast double bass, I guess. So what is a falling fifth sequence? It's literally what the name says. It's just like you take a chord, then you go a fifth from there downwards to the next chord, and then you repeat that process all the way through the circle of fifths once, and then you come out at the same chord after like 7 progressions. You have to kind of squeeze it a little. It doesn't really work naturally, so like one of the steps has to be like a diminished fifth downwards. One of them, usually like the second last one. Anyways, the harmonic movement is so established in all kinds of music at this point. That's it. So the intro will be just like these cymbal hits, and then we go full throttle 16th again in the actual bridge. So let's bring some keyboard in here. So these should be the chords. Yeah, why not? I think the second repeat I will just make the E minor go E major, because I can. I don't have to change anything with the guitars. Sounds cool. Sounds like baroque. Sounds classic-y. That's kind of what I was going for. Where do we head from there? Back in the chorus? We can't go full throttle. We will just do like the standard move of last chorus, first half is quiet, and then in the second half all the instruments come back. But harmonically it works because we are never leaving the tonality of E minor, and we are basically ending every single part with that dominant 7 sound. So we can take everything and put it right after everything else and it will always fit. So yeah, we need a drum fill here for the length of one whole bar, I guess. Yeah, that's it. So just put in some crash hits here and there and this linear drum fill at the end. Yeah, we are back into the last chorus. Oh yeah, right. I just remembered, we are doing power metal. So we are going to repeat the chorus one last time and we are ramping up the intensity. So let's just for demonstration's sake copy the lead melody, which will be the main vocal melody, and do what you just have to do when you want to ramp up the intensity and ramp up the epicness, which is we're going to make the thing a whole tone step higher. That's what I'm talking about. It is really that simple. Just like take the same chords, the same melody, shift everything up a whole tone, and you're good to go. Extra epicness, basically for free. And then we are basically pretty much done. The rest is like intro, outro. I will come up with that maybe later when I know what layers of keyboard, synthesizers or orchestra I will add to that. Alright, next up just record some very basic bass. And for the bass, there is one thing you really want to do with power metal or like all the old school classic heavy metal genres, which is really go for that staccato sound. Nice. Yeah, it's coming together. So next up probably will be adding some more keyboard, adding some more like harmonic context to the whole music. And as I already said, the keyboards are kind of a placeholder for basically the whole arrangement. Let's just do static chords under the chorus. Right, so I came up with this little supporting kinda track for the keyboard that just like doubles the chords and provides some more harmonic content than just the power chords, which are playing just a root note and a fifth, and here we have like the third and sometimes a 7 in there. For the pre-chorus I came up with this little melody. So let's just copy paste all of that. Here in the bridge section I actually just want the keys to go like full 16th giant arpeggios, like a sweeping guitar. Let's try figure that out. So next thing I want to do is I noticed that the very last chorus, the repeating one, is a bit too much tension and not enough release. I kind of wanted to be more grounded in a way, and that 1-5-6-5 chord progression is really a bit too tensious. So I am trying to find out some good substitutes for that and going to re-record the guitars and the bass and the keys as well here really quick and come up with chords that are like not completely different but just like another flavor to make it like a bit less exciting and a bit more grounded. Alright, so next up, let's spice up the drum beats just a bit and get some accents here and there. Alright, so how are we going to ramp things up in the last chorus? Guess we could go from hi-hat to crash. Boom! Alright, so we spiced up the drums. What is next? I think we are like somewhat finished with the instrumentals. I think we need some kind of intro here. I've got something here. So really we are pretty much finished with the instrumentals. It's like a raw framework. So next up would be vocals, and as always I have to come up with the lyrics first and then I can talk a bit about like the approach of like vocal style in here. Oof, it's going to get cheesy and cringy, I can tell you that much. But yeah, let's think about some lyrics first. Oh, wait a second. I know what we need here. I just know what we need in the bridge part, and that is not like a lead vocal, but a whole choir. Oh, that's going to be so much fun. Oh yes, I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to like 4-part harmony choir this shit, because why not? It's super epic. Let's talk about the lyrics real quick here. I already said, well, we're going to do power metal, so it's gonna be cheesy and it's gonna be like all like fantasy, over the top, stupid kind of trashy stuff. So I figured for the first verse and also the chorus, I thought let's do like the classic high fantasy, like there is some threat of a rising evil and we have to defeat that in battle with some unicorns and shit. So the whole like super cheesy trashy fantasy kind of stuff. And then I thought for the second verse, even though I said in the beginning we're not going to do any real life stuff, but as you know me, I make rules just to break them anyways, we kinda cannot ignore the fact that Sabaton is a thing and they don't do the fantasy stuff. They do some good old lyrics about war all the time.
War?
So in the second verse we are shifting gears a bit and going somewhere in France into the trenches of World War I. We will still bring the unicorns, so they will still be around, and we are kind of clashing the two tropes together, the Sabaton war style lyrics and the like Glory Hammer epic fantasy style. Then we will fight some German World War I troops in the trenches, which leads us in the last chorus where there is like this epic final and kind of this boss battle where we will defeat the German leader, which is of course Adolf Hitler, because come on, let's be honest, World War I, World War II, what's even the fucking difference? Nobody knows. I mean, it's just more epic to defeat Hitler than that other guy, Kaiser Wilhelm, I don't even know anymore. So anyways, the Germans lost. That's all that is important right now. And come on, it's power metal. Who the fuck cares, honestly? So let's just talk about vocal style real quick. Obviously all like these epic opera style clean vocals. And I decided I'm going to do two things. First of all, I will do lots of the chorus stuff in two main voices that are an octave apart. So a high one and a low one. And also for this song I want to go for the complete vocal production. So the high voice and the low voice, they both have like two backing voices that are split left and right just a bit. And then I will also add additional harmony voices here and there, so it gets really fat in the end. And also I still suck at singing, so the more vocal layers I have, the more I can bury the fact that the individual tracks don't really sound good. I hope, I guess. Also, I got my hands on Melodyne, so maybe this is saving the day. We will see, we'll find out. Let's record some vocals first. With evil being on the rise, we need to arm for battle. To the enemy's demise, by the power of the steel, it will be our destiny to fight for the ultimate victory. For the glory of the kingdom, the warriors will rise to defeat the spawn of evil. For the glory of all mankind, it will never be too late to defeat all evil leaders. This is our fate. To the enemy's demise, from the back of the dragon, who will take them by surprise, who fight for the ultimate victory. Guys, so that's it for the vocals. We've got the main vocals low, we've got the main vocals high, we've got all the harmony vocals, and we got the choir in the bridge part. So that pretty much wraps it up for that part of the video. So next up, as you know, I will do the mix. I will do some like sparkling mixing magic and apply some tricks here and there and figure out how I can change the pretty obnoxious keyboard sound into some more detailed kind of sounds like orchestra stuff. I will do that all off camera, and then I will get back to you after that all is done, and I will talk about what I did and what changes I applied afterwards. So see you in a bit. Alright, let's go through the mix real quick. As you can see, there is quite a bit of things accumulated here over the time. So let's start with the most important things. It's gonna be the vocals. And I already told you I'm going for that complete modern produced vocal style, which basically means two things. First off, I got my hands on Melodyne, which really helps me with the pitch correction and manually putting every note where it is supposed to be. And that also allows me the second thing, which is doubling the main vocals with two backing vocals, slightly left, slightly right. And when you pitch correct all of them, they are all perfectly in tune and they give this really nice effect of a bit more volume, a bit more power to the voice. So as you can see here, everything below this line is all vocals. The pink ones are the main vocals. I've got the low ones here going throughout the whole song, and the high ones are just in the chorus for the most part. And I also got the harmony vocals, which are all the teal ones here. And let's just listen in to what the end of the chorus sounds like with all of the main vocals and harmony vocals engaged.
To fight for the ultimate victory.
In the end, I think it sounds quite acceptable, and with all the harmonization, it tends to get quite epic. And the choir as well, that's the next thing I want to talk about. We've got that whole choir down here, which consists of 4 different voices, and every voice was recorded 3 times. So this is what the choir sounds like. You can see that I panned every single voice differently, so you really get that like choir standing in a row around the microphone effect. Next up, let's talk about the basics first. So drums, bass, guitars, and I don't want to go through everything I did here. Just like my general approach was to really keep the drums, bass and guitars as much in the background as possible, which comes a lot from the composition, so it just doesn't grab your attention. For the drums, these are again a bit more high up. The double bass is really rattling here in the chorus section and in the bridge section as well. So and also the programming is like as simple as it gets in order to not distract from the things that are really important, which are the vocals and the orchestra. Guitars, kind of same as the drums, more high up, really lacking bass because they are not supposed to grab the attention. They're supposed to just fall in the background, provide some texture, kind of provide the metal feeling to the song, but nothing else. Also, little lead guitar just for the chorus. It's the same or almost the same melody as the main vocals are singing, and it just adds another layer of epicness to have like this really nice lead guitar on top of that. Yep. Now to the more interesting parts again. The whole orchestration, the whole backbone of that is of course our synthesizer. And for the synth, I was going for a very static, undynamic, cheesy 80s sound. And yeah, to kind of provide the melodic backbone of the whole piece. The best example is of course the keyboard solo, synthesizer solo here in the bridge part. Which really complements the choir as well, because the choir is very slow, like long holding notes, and the synth part is like doing these arpeggios. So yeah, these can totally go together without getting in their way. And in the verse, the synth is mostly doing like some accents on the guitars. So for the strings, I'm using the BBC Symphony Orchestra plugin via Spitfire Audio, which is free. So if you want to get your hands on like a free full-blown orchestral VST plugin, then definitely check that out. I just stuck to 3 strings, violin, viola and cello here. This is what they sound like in the chorus. Also, I got some winds, and they are mostly in the verse, exiting the guitars at times. In the pre-chorus section, we've got a long trumpet. And the same melody is also played by some Glockenspiel, because why the fuck not, it sounds nice. And the big brother of the small Glockenspiel are of course the tubular bells, which are just like a shortcut to extra epicness. So they are really just doubling the bass notes mostly of that chorus section. Two small little details. First of all is this little thing here, the orange one, the battle horn. So here in the lyrics it says Army of the Unicorns, their battle cry sounds through their horns. So I decided to make a little battle horn in here, which is another Spitfire audio plugin. And yeah, it's just a battle horn. It sounds like this. Epic, and it fits to the whole lyrics, and yep, so that's in there. And also some razors, you can really hear them in the last chorus where it starts very quietly and then the metal instrumentation comes in. Just gives it a bit more punch, a bit more impact on these very moments. So just in front of every chorus and on the beginning of the song. Got that shoop kind of sound. So guys, that's it for Powermetal, that's it from my side. Now comes the music video. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and see you in the next video. Take care.